We all know that SSO within the past few years isn't what it was back then, both positively and negatively. As each day passes with more videos speaking up on SSO's bullshit, so has the increased rise of the forsaken white knights of this community that tear down others for having a different opinion than them. Today, we'll be discussing these comments that have created multiple battles and reveal the actions and behaviors people have taken. This will be an educational series as we analyze these comments and give feedback on how the situation could have been better, how to deal with white knights, and of course, what could white knights do better to not come off as an asshole or a piece of shit. So that way, instead of having reactions like this—
How dare you! Do you have any idea how much they've accomplished in their career? Kim Namjoon has more talent in a single toenail than you do in your entire pathetic existence, and you should be grateful you get to be alive at the same time as them. You don't deserve to breathe the air that they breathe, you disgusting piece of—
and have more cool shit like this. This is Cursed Comments. Disclaimer, this is only for educational purposes only. We are not promoting any bullying or witch hunts here. Come on, y'all. This ain't supposed to be tearing other people down. We're supposed to at least help each other in this forsaken world that is the SSO community. Hello everybody, my name is Moon, and welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to another episode of Cursed Comments. Today, we're going to be talking about how to defend yourself against a white knight, and what to look out for when encountering one of these specimens in the wilderness that is SSO. I'll still be analyzing white knight comments along the way, but I'll be analyzing techniques people use to defend themselves against white knights, as well as things that y'all can do when it comes to a white knight. So without further ado, let's get on to the degrees of white knightism and a tutorial on what the fuck to do in a white knight situation. As always, degree number 1, a person that blindly follows SSO with false beliefs, but they're still able to be a respectable human being. Degree 2, blindly follows SSO, but they are more passive-aggressive than the average person.
Here's like an actual customer out here. What's the best kind of firework to buy?
Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?
Where are your parents?
Degree 3, the person's rude, but they are willing to listen to what you have to say, but they will still hammer their point of following and rarely become more respectful to SSO, aka they're the most average out of the bunch.
Rachel is so annoying. I heard you were talking shit about me. What the fuck?
Degree 4, a very rude person uses some of the reoccurring arguments with very little cooperation and actually having a discussion.
How would you like to eat corn on the cob with no fucking teeth?
And last but not least, degree 5, aka the most extreme and the most toxic, using every typical argument and disproven fact. And as always, they are very stubborn and actually wanting to listen to what you have to say, which usually leads to very toxic positivity and /or bullying remarks. God, we love them. So to truly understand the defense against white knights, we're going to look at 2 examples sent in by 2 of my followers from Instagram. One showing a post done by a white knight and the other showing a white knight encounter. We're going to look at the white knight encounter first, sent in by Horse Spackle. And they said, the new Dark Riders suck in my opinion. They look nothing like their original design. Kaja has the best design since her design's almost the same. Sabine's horse has a terrible model, the Eurafrisian. A dog horse, the grammar, I'm sorry. Just my opinion. But at Star Stable Online, take this as constructive criticism. And then not so long before, we have a white knight, Mira, saying, XX sucks, take this as constructive criticism. Yeah, that's not how it works. So the reasoning why a lot of us sometimes have to not only say our own opinion, but also say something that we like is because we have to pad that as defense when it comes to these white knights. Because since a lot of white knights perceive us as negative, at the end of the day, we're just trying to share our opinion. However, most of the time, sadly, white knights don't really take it as valid criticism in their eyes because, you know, most of them want positivity.
So you just gonna bring me a birthday gift on my birthday to my birthday party on my birthday with a birthday gift? Happy birthday?
Now, on to the next example, which was the Whiteknight post. This was sent in by my follower, Stella, and basically this showed a post from SSO Worm, which is in 3 slides saying,
honestly, I'm sick of people complaining about SSO releasing horses every other month and calling it a cash grab. I think people forgot that after the lifetime payment to be a star rider, SSO requires you to pay not a single cent to be able to enjoy the story. Not only that, they also gift you 100 star coins a week. Let's do some math. I got my lifetime rather late, only in 2017, even though I played since 2013. February 2017 to February 2022, with 52 weeks a year, means SSO has given me 26,000 star coins since they last required me to pay so I can play. That's about 250 euros worth. So to recap, I paid them 64 euros, was a special offer, once in 2017. And since then, I have gotten 5 years of updates and storyline and gameplay upgrades for free. Plus, they give me 250 euros basically. Now tell me, how should SSO be able to pay their staff, their server, their equipment, let alone make some profit if they don't motivate players to spend some money on them? Again, it is not at all required to play the game. It doesn't even give you an advantage to spend money compared to other games because there are no pay-to-win items.
Bitch, what am I? A roach?
TLDR, stop hating on SSO for leasing horses often in order to pay their bills and their staff.
Now, this post, even though it doesn't really show much of people calling back on this Whiteknight, this is showing mainly the ignorance a lot of Whiteknights have. They assume that we have an issue with the amount of horses in the game for no reason when we have an issue because it affects the content updates as well as things that are not money related. I feel like this post mainly shows the ignorance a lot of Whiteknights have to issues of SSO, and they don't fully understand that. No, we are not trying to stop their pay, honey. That ain't the issue. We're trying to get them to realize that they need to actually look at the fact that 1, their prices are getting really fucking high, therefore the SSO economy has inflated so much that it's fucking breaking the game itself, and 2, that the content is dry as fuck. Now, obviously, do they got some points on how the staff needs to get paid? Yes. However, let me remind you, when they lower the prices, they're gonna still have people that pay for Star Rider, that source of money. So they're not gonna go broke if we up the allowance to 200 star coins or lower the prices of horses. It's just a thought, just saying. Because the main issue with these pricings is that with the allowance we get every week, we can't catch up. Yeah, you could potentially get 26k in that huge span of years. However, you're forgetting that there's limited edition horses coming in and people coming to their FOMO and getting said horses regardless of how many times you tell them you could just skip the horses. So therefore, this is why we need a 200 star coin week allowance. So with this in mind, now that you've seen some examples of Whiteknight behavior and what to look out for, as well as some examples that typically some people have to do when it comes to defending themselves of their opinion, let's get on into some more comments based on these situations.
Well, maybe it's just you. I don't know anyone who expected more than SSO gave. You're just asking SSO more and more. Chill out. Stop expecting they do everything perfect. An okay update is
Good enough.
and a bad update is okay too if it doesn't happen too often.
Boy, if you don't...
The update is good enough, but still, they can do better. I think your reply sums up the biggest problem. People are okay with SSO releasing crappy updates and misleading pictures because they're so used to it, or never played any other game and think it's always like that it looks normal to them. No wonder why SSO never improves. Honey, read the comments. It's not just me.
That's true, but the people who are commenting are your subscribers, who most likely agree with other subscribers might not agree. That's true, but I still think we should give SSO some space.
If y'all think it stopped there in this comment thread, oh, this person started another one.
Just stop making assumptions.
It's called an opinion. I'm not. I literally play the game. You're being misled. If not, then why did they put the seahorses in the water in the ad if they can't swim? It wasn't ever directly implied nor stated it could swim. Obviously, they'd fucking showcase that if they actually could swim.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
Honey, in the trailer, they literally emerged from the water, implying that they could potentially swim. Ooh, Lord. Why promote it with that photo, though? A lot of people fell for it and bought the seahorse to swim with, especially children who wanted a swimming horse. They know their demographic. Kids fall for shit easy. They used a photo of the horses swimming in deep water. They fucking lied. Don't show the horses, don't shit that they can't do in game, especially if kids play. Their website even says 8-year-olds can play. They can fall for shit easy and be like,
Mommy, I want your credit card for swim horses.
LMFAO. So this is what I like to call our very first example of defense against a white knight. In this case, we have a very average 3rd degree white knight. Eva's showing sign that she is listening, but at the same time, she is still making rude replies by trying to denounce this as just assumptions. But as you can tell, Mia the gamer, who's now called Siren the gamer, by the way, Siren is now basically using facts based on from what they saw from SSO's videos, and as well as article info, and as well as testing it in game. Therefore, they're using proof to back up their claim on how SSO is misleading players with ads sometimes, which is true. For example, another good example is the pets. They show that we can hold and pet them, but we can't pet them in game, which is why they are able to back it up, as well as some other people coming into the thread, also helping back up Siren's claim. Okay, now make male characters. Seriously? For real? They already explained before why they won't, but the main character of the story is female. There are plenty of games where you can only play as a male character, because that's just the gender of the main character. It's the same here. Honey, this is an MMO, not a single player. It's a poor explanation, though. Exactly. There isn't a problem with the game.
Stop the cap.
Like I say, the main protagonist is female. That's just the way the story goes. Just the same way that Lara Croft is female, Indiana Jones is male. And if you play those games, guess what? You play as their respected genders, because that's the gender they were created as. There are plenty of male characters in the game. Plus, if it bothers you that much for role-playing, you can dress up your character in a more masculine way. Honey, you just mentioned 2 people that are in like single-player games. This is an MMO, except the game is played as you. You're the main character rather than playing a different character. Thank you. It's an MMO. You're playing as yourself. So only having female options doesn't make sense, and it isn't as feministic as SSO thinks in other games. You can play as a different character, so it makes sense for there not to be any options such as gender or name. But in this game, we're playing as our own person with our own looks, personality, and chosen name. We're even referred to with they/them pronouns. So it's really not that hard to create at least gender neutral characters. SSO claims to support every gender identity and sexual orientation, yet they exclude anyone who isn't a girl. Yes, I get your point, but imagine a kid who plays in Adores and wants to see themselves in the game. I just wish it had the option. They don't exclude anyone who isn't a girl. There isn't a law preventing boys from playing. If you look back at the Star Stable lore in the previous games and stories, you'll see that the main protagonist is indeed female. Yes, we get to name this character and change your clothes, but the story and lore that SSO has always had been about a female character. SSO does support LGBTQ+ more than a lot of games do. It actually highlights the LGBTQ+ community. Plus, I'd have characters that are LGBTQ+. And again, if you want to dress the main character in a more masculine way, you can. There are clothes and beards and short hairstyles you can use. Honey, in terms of a boy hairstyle, there's only really like one. I'm sorry, there's only one. And also... Oh god, this is gonna get violent. But there are so many games that also don't offer this option. When I play Zelda or Batman or Red Dead Redemption, I don't get to choose what gender I get. But you don't hear people whining that they can't have a gunslinging cowgirl that represents themselves in the game. That's because, honey, you're playing single player games and you have to go to Red Dead Redemption Online, where you can play as a girl. So therefore, you are using single player games and not MMOs to back up your argument. If you read the comments here, you'll see the wingly? Oh lord. I mean, honestly, I would just like the option. Does that mean I'm
going to get it? No, but you can't expect much from an original CD gone MMO RPG that takes their lovely time on updates, so players like I, who have been playing long enough and completed all the quests, have to wait for a blue moon and or holiday events. But once again, this isn't a game where you play a character. You play as yourself. The storyline is so messed up now there's barely a valid story. Amen. The player is likely a reincarnation of some gal we've been recollecting memories from, but who says said reincarnation has to be a girl? Concord used to be a mare, but reincarnated to a stallion. Softy, my mans, I hate to break it to you, but it's the other way around. I'm sorry. We could literally be any gender and the storyline would still work. In previous games, we played as that character. In Zelda, you play as that character. In Batman too, because you're not playing as yourself, you're playing someone else's story. Genshin Impact has a male or female option and it doesn't change anything in game. Why should SSO be any different? They're enforcing the stereotype that only girls play horse games and only girls like horses by taking away male and neutral characters. They say they support every gender, but really they only support girls, which is what could be called a radical feminist, which is not a good thing. Facts. You have your viewpoint, and we're obviously not going to agree, so I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to repeat myself over and over again. If you're not understanding or open to think about my point, but I stand by what I said. The protagonist character is a girl, was designed as a girl, and always will be a girl, because that's just the story. It doesn't mean that SSO is feminist. It doesn't mean that boys can't play SSO. It's just the way the game is, and if you don't like it and want more gender freedom, then maybe go and play The Sims instead. Okay. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a 5th degree White Knight. So this is another example of how to defend yourself when you especially have more than one person are able to back up the same claim as for a previous comment. In this case, you have to pull out info outside of the game, aka you have to look at other games besides SSO. In this case, this lady only looked at one particular version of the game, which is single player, whereas everyone else looked at not just single player, but MMOs. In this case, ladies and gentlemen, let me preface this one more time. Star Stable Online is an MMO. If you're referring to Star Stable Season Riders, that's single player, but this is an MMO. In MMO, you're playing as yourself, and you should be able to have the option to play as whatever gender you should be, and actually be able to customize your character. Just saying. And this is why I also commonly state that SSO is really a hypocrite when it comes to actually being inclusive. They're not as inclusive as people say they are. Yeah, they speak up saying they support Pride Month and all that, but they're not inclusive, and that's why I just think they're being hypocrites by saying, oh, we're inclusive, but we're not going to have another gender besides girls. And there's times proven again that we can still be other genders and do the same exact thing in Star Stable as proven in other games. And Genshin Impact is a very good example because you can either be Lumen or Aether, and it literally is the same exact actions. Nothing is different besides them switching places. Therefore, if we as a girl can go and get the golden apple to save P, a boy can do that as well. Literally anything in the game can do that. And also, honey, when you say if you don't like it and want more gender freedom, this just gonna show you are very sexist, ma'am. It ain't that good, ma'am. Also, Miss Girl, next time be more educated on what's actually an MMO and what's a single player, especially with customization for characters. Get rid of GameGuard. You mad because he can't use cheats? No, GameGuard is causing issues for loads of players and is a fishy, cheap software. More like most players can't log on / properly play, and cheaters are still cheating, since most cheatings occur through bugs in-game. Alright, this person I would say is at least a degree 2. Not really much, just given a rude reply, and that's really about it, but there's not much context to go off of. In this case, the defense occurs by mentioning a common issue that's been occurring all throughout SSO right now, because we are now stuck with GameGuard. It's very important to not be ignorant about this issue, and this is how you defend yourself against ignorance to something tech-wise. You have to bring up a lot of points such as what other people's experiences are, since that's probably the main thing you need to look at, as well as what this thing is. An anti-cheat is usually really helpful, but in this case, since GameGuard is a cheap, shitty program, it is not really helpful, and it's very worrying to see SSO use this, considering how we still have cheaters in this game and how it's confusing Discord as a hacking claim. I just, Lord have mercy. players are moaning that a bug has been fixed. I'm sorry, what? You all moan about bugs before not getting fixed. Now when they do, you moan that they fixed a bug? I will never understand the players of this game. LOL.
Same here! Average I don't touch grass user! Oh, that's so ugly.
Well, SSO agreed that removing the bug is hurting a lot of players who are using that bug to express their creativity through movies, and they actually promised to add the camera feature in a future update. Community 1, Whiteknights 0.
Oh, I'm sorry for not knowing what everyone in this community does when playing a game. Shame on me.
And that excuses you for being flippant and snide about a problem in the community? If you don't know what it's about, then why comment? All you managed to do was showcase your ignorance and your flippancy towards the part of the community you claim to be a part of. How about reading what something is about before making snide comments? Just a thought.
I don't remember claiming to be a part of this community. I just played the game and pick SSO now and then when they add something I like, which I got told off for a long time ago, so I stopped.
Actually, honey, if you look back at your other records, you have also been rude before.
Also, I saw no comment at the time of making my comment in the sea of comment about the bug being used to help people make stuff. People weren't just saying a bug with the horse buying was taken away, and they were upset about it. They never said why. The pinned comment was not pinned at the time. I only found out about it being used in a making way when you comment. So again, sorry for not being all-seeing.
This was unbelievably nasty way to go about responding to someone. Even if OP was wrong, you're just being flat out rude. Being ignorant about something does not give you the right to be nasty. How about you just edit the original comment, apologize, and say, hey, I wasn't aware, thank you for bringing this to my attention, but no, you just wanted to lash out at the community because you had a bad day just before you comment on. Before you decide to make snide comments, do some research. You are not in the right here, and it's not about being all-seeing, it's about being considerate. That's it. Have a nice day.
I'm sorry, good day. I said sorry, but I'm not deleting my comment. People should see mistakes.
Okay, now this is what happens when you are typically by yourself in this situation. In this case, Miss Rattle did a brilliant job of bringing out how the person is acting and why their comment was bad, and as well as why their actions was just inconsiderate and rude. And in this case, we do have two Whiteknights besides this main one. They are both, there's a lot of degree 5s in this, which, ooh, Jesus Christ. Now this person is a very reoccurring Whiteknight. I've seen them before in other comments of posts and has decreased here and there, but whenever this person does come out, they are still rude. And regardless of that, in general, when it comes to this, ladies and gentlemen, if you comment on something that you have no idea what it's about or you have no say in and give a response like this and be rude, of course you're going to have someone tell you, hey, you're being very ignorant and you're just being very inconsiderate of why people are having certain issues with the game. And in this case, this was during the hashtag SSO Save the Movies movement to save the movie community, which in fact worked, and hopefully it fully works once that first person camera comes out. Just saying, SSO. But once again, please do not be ignorant to other people's issues. Just because it doesn't happen to you or you do not use said stuff doesn't mean nobody else was affected or uses said stuff.
Ooh boy, this is interesting. SSO, can you please remove the first two updates from the Middle East servers, as this festival is not well suitable for our culture? I hope you understand. Okay, so this person, before I continue, this is referring to the Rainbow Festival. So, oh god. Hi there! Our updates and festivals align with European culture, so we're really proud and excited to bring these celebrations to Europe again this year. Even though they have Halloween, Christmas, and Midsummer, but okay. If you don't like it, don't play Star Stable. I didn't even mention you in the comments, plus keep yourself out of others' businesses. Don't comment on a public page then. Oh boy. I hope that you can at least create a button to remove unwanted updates somehow to be more similar as the feature you add to Christmas where you change the weather from winter to spring. Again, it's none of your business. Someone is salty. You can simply just not take the flight to the Cloud Kingdom. The weather effect button didn't remove the Winter Village out of existence, just the snow and blue filter. What are you afraid of? Pride flags flying towards you. There isn't any filter to remove. It's your choice to go to the place or not. Respect people who celebrate pride.
Thank you. Finally, a saint in this comment thread. Alright, to talk about this. Oh, Lord have mercy. In this case, I feel like we just have two white knights. We have ourselves, I would say, how should I put this? Honestly, this can be left today. For the homo-whoos, I'm gonna say you're a degree 2, considering how you just really just came off rude in all honesty. And as for lightning look, I don't know if I should put you as a 3 or a 1. I'ma put you as a 3. Cause in this case, they were both really being rude to each other. For example, Lightning Look was being very inconsiderate to why the Rainbow Festival, aka the Pride Month Festival, is in the game. Because it's also now acting as a way to celebrate Pride Month. Which, by the way, SSO, whenever this video comes out, I hope you added other pride flags that you've missed last year. Just saying, since you only put ones that only cater to girls. Just saying. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, please. Here's the thing, y'all. I hate to break it to y'all, but there's a little something called Pride Month, and you should respect it. And outside of Pride Month, you just also need to respect the LGBTQIA+ community in general. You see, everybody has the right to love who they want to love and be who they want to be. And if you have an issue with said festival, just don't take part in it. Simple. Just walk away. You don't have to throw a hissy fit just because we have a Pride Rainbow Festival in the game. At the end of the day, the whole purpose of this month is to not only honor this community, but also remember the history it took for them to actually be accepted and be able to stand up. Because there's a whole lot when it comes to the LGBTQIA+ community in terms of its history, and also how we still have people that are homophobic, transphobic, and any kind of phobic having an issue with people wanting to love the same gender or more than one gender or wanting to be a different gender, etc. And we still have to be able to take this cause, not just in this month, but also carry it throughout and be able to support this community. And if you can't support it, don't be an ignorant asshole and try to make a stance saying that there's a huge issue with having this in the game. Just walk away and not just take part in it. My lord. And I believe this person, Phantom View, they made a brilliant point on if you don't like the festival because it affects your culture, just don't take part in it. It's that simple. I do also like to preface that we are going to be seeing some more homophobic, transphobic shit as we get into the latter of the comments. So before moving on, y'all please let me know if I said anything offensive of that sort. So my apologies if I have. I'm doing the very best I can to be able to help support this community, and as well as just making sure that people aren't being ignorant assholes to people that are a part of this community. Alright, so this comment comes from my girl Rattle, where she had to defend herself against a person that was using 2 accounts. So let's go see how this is done. It's annoying how you keep saying, oh, SSO was bad. Okay, you try making a bunch of super realistic characters. SSO may not be realistic, but the graphics are astounding. And the game is mind-blowing. The best I've seen, they deserve money for it, even though most of it is free. Well, I guess you haven't seen Genshin Impact, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Final Fantasy then. Tell me you haven't watched a video without telling me you haven't watched a video. First of all, I did. Second of all, even if I didn't, that doesn't change anything. Is there any other game that update once a week? DC Universe Online. Their team is about the same size as SSO, plus they have a bigger game with a lot more to offer. Oh, and it's free. I was talking about a horse game, not a creepy Joker game. Alicia Online. That doesn't update every Wednesday. It's not bad. Like, you literally just race. How is that better than SSO? You're right. It doesn't update every Wednesday. It updates every Sunday. And they have a team of 3 people. See, the funny thing is this person don't realize that she accidentally used 2 accounts. But you think this is over, bitch? Nah.
Rattle, where you buy horses and that's about it. Meanwhile, Midsummer Festival, huge open world, free birthday horse, a bunch of quests, free star coin codes, which you don't really get anymore. Free Star Rider codes, but you can only use it once. Amazing trail ride, so much amazing updates. Wait till this lady finds out that it's gonna be recycled content for the Midsummer Festival. And probably some of the Rainbow Festival, man. Tell me you haven't watched the video without telling me you haven't watched the video. I'm not about to waste 43 minutes on this video. That is completely untrue. Thank you very much. I've skimmed through it already, and if you think it's so bad, maybe you can try making your own horse game. So you are the same person, just switched accounts. Okay then. Also, try and watch a video before commenting. If you don't want to waste the time watching it, then move on with your life. Leaving a comment insulting a video without actually knowing what the video is about is just plain old stupid. But if it makes you feel better about your life, have fun. Bruh, this whole time this 5th degree white knight didn't know that they fucking switched accounts. And think that they think we're fucking dumb when it's literally the same person.
Look at her. I bet she ain't without all that makeup. Keep going, bitch, cause you ain't with it.
Honestly, this Rattle's fucking comment just sum up what this bitch should have done. You should have watched the video, ho. And if you didn't think you're gonna like the video, just move on with your life. Oh my lord. I can't. Ooh, Jesus. Ladies and gents and non-binary buds, we are now about to enter homophobic territory. So, buckle the fuck up. This is gonna just be, oh god. First of all, I don't have any problem with the community members. There is so much great homosexual artist, singer, poet, etc. in the world. You are amazing. We can't see snow anymore because there are countries in this world where the snow doesn't fall. But we celebrate the Pride Month? Why? There's no boy/man playable characters in the game, so what's about the transgenders? Why we all need to see this? This is a game for little girls, like 60-year-olds or upper. Have a nice say. Oh god. Many kids are LGBTQ, not to mention that Pride Month is very important. Why not? The game celebrates people and who they are. And the Christmas with the snow? We can't see snow falling on Europe because there are countries in the world where the snow doesn't fall, and they don't want to hurt those players' feelings. Really? Oh boy. A lot of people play this game that's not 6 and under. Some people who do play this game might be LGBTQIA+, and it's very important for them to love I think you meant love themselves for who they are. Star Stable sharing this post may help a lot of people by showing we accept you. I'm a transgender man who plays the game. No biggie. Most of us don't mind. They're just showing their support. Nothing negative here at all. Thanks. Welcome in the saddle. SSL won't add snowfall/snow to the game anymore because many players were very laggy because of that. If kids knew about LGBTQ at age 6, then maybe you wouldn't have so many LGBTQ kids growing up scared and confused. Plus, supporting a community has nothing to do with the main character's gender. SSL have said many times that the main character that we play as is a female character. I knew I wasn't a girl when I was little. If I had the support kids have now, I would not have gone through decades of grief. This is needed. I agree with you. Don't let people put you down for your own opinion. Oh boy. Just say you're homophobic and move on. Thank you. Why not? That's not why we don't have snow. The snow is old and it's harder than you may think to play snow all over Europe for just 1 month. It isn't worth it. Okay. Oh boy, how am I gonna? I don't even know what to give this degree to this part. I don't even know. We do have another reoccurring white knight that I believe I gave a 3 of an average, which is Cuddles. For Penguin, I have no idea what to rate you. I don't know if I should put you as a 2. We're gonna go with 2. If y'all have a different opinion, let me know. So we're gonna break this down by certain opinions. While I can agree that for starters, that I do question SSO in terms of their inclusivity. And what I mean by that is, I feel like SSO is a hypocrite when it comes to inclusiveness. If they support LGBTQIA+,
why don't they do their best to write LGBTQIA plus characters right? And considering that they also support, if considering by definition, if they support this huge community, that they are aware that there are people that have transitioned into being boys, why do we not have male characters? And as y'all know, I've made multiple arguments on how SSO can be done with a male character or non-binary character, since literally it doesn't require to be a girl to fucking save An or Lisa. Literally a boy or non-binary person or just any gender in general can go save fucking Lisa, An, Justin, or do anything in the game. At the end of the day, when it comes to gender equality, the best way to do that is to have equal playing fields for both genders. And this is why SSO is the main punching bag when it comes to this, because this is the only MMO that singles out one gender overall. Yes, other MMOs have gender lock classes, but usually those MMOs are able to balance out both genders by giving an equal amount. And this is why I have an issue with SSO, because you're not really letting players be themselves if you're forcing them to be stuck in all one body and one set of pronouns. Alright, now let's look at the snow argument. So yes, in terms of snow, they did remove the snow due to the lag. However, considering how SSO has definitely improved graphic-wise with their snow, honestly, I wish they would just, work on a better version of snow all over Jorvik instead of having to opt to this winter village. Although it's a substitute, it's not a very nice substitute considering how everywhere else is just fucking summer forever when that's theoretically impossible. Which is why I wish they would just try to work on better textures that are not as laggy, but it could also just because of their fucking laggy ass 2005 engine. But yeah, and now into the argument with the events. For starters, with Pride Month. Ladies and gents and non-binary buds, this month is extremely important for people in the LGBTQIA plus community. Therefore, we are going to have said festival in the game. And if you don't want to fucking do this festival, just don't participate. That's simple, okay? However, I can say on one thing of what Penguin said, and is that with the events, especially lately with SSO, they are a bit of a hypocrite when saying they want to have Jorvik-sized events, but they still have events that are still in real life, such as Midsummer. You see, when it comes to events, especially when you look at stuff in MMOs, in all my years, I don't really remember anybody complaining about Christmas and Halloween saying it's too realistic or it was too religious. Same with Valentine's. I don't remember that at all in all my time of playing Star Stable. And while I understand that completely, if they wanted to, once again, make events more inclusive, they should have had the opportunity to not only have their existing events still here, but do add-ons, such as an example for winter holidays. They should have had it not only with Christmas, but fucking Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, to give a chance to teach kids about the importance of other holidays around the world and also why people celebrate them, that sort of thing. But literally, I'm gonna be very honest once again, Halloween and Christmas are just under a different fucking name. That's it. They didn't change anything besides just changing their name and changing the location. That's it. I don't see anything religious. In fact, I don't think there's anything religious SSO has ever put in terms of events. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is just from somebody that's played this game for fucking about almost 10 years now. Just saying. I really don't remember the Christmas or Halloween events or Easter or Valentine's talking about Jesus and shit, when in Easter we just went around looking for fucking eggs, and Valentine's we just did a fucking race with friends. Just saying. Alright, let me know what y'all think about this comment thread, since this was oh god. And let me know if y'all agree with my opinions, or if you disagree, that's completely fine. Alright, last comment before we get into the relief comment of the day. Thank you, for I can't take a part in my favorite festival because you just ignore your players and bugs in your game. Referring to the game guard. Hi there! We understand that many players are having troubles with logging in right now. While the team is working quickly to resolve this, we ask that you please reach out to our customer support team so they can help you. starstable.com/support.
It doesn't make sense. I'm reached to your customer support many times and it doesn't give any result. Yes, I'm not game developer, but I think that a problem has solution. Why developers focusing only on new horses and doesn't care about servers and game stability work in general? A lot of players leave your community only because yours indifference to players and the beautiful world that you created. Different team, reach out to them again, explain what's going on, they'll find a solution. They don't have a quote-unquote different team for horses and quests. To be honest, it is legit everyone working on horses and sometimes making time for quests, aka look at the article from last year. Honestly, let's be honest, they never respond to customer support. Nope. We aren't gonna say that. I emailed y'all 4 years ago about changing my email. I'm still waiting on a response. They do. They have talked about it before. I send them an email and I always get a response within a week. Means something wrong happened. Did you get your ticket? You can email them again. Yeah, the company trying to save them from the numerous workers saying otherwise. If you went to one of their company meetups with fans, you would have seen it.
Stop the cap.
Dude, I'm being 100% serious. You forget companies put on a good face for people they have done this many times. I wouldn't trust what they say to a T, but take it with a grain of salt. Workers have no reason to lie. They will get nothing lying about a horse game that the general public doesn't care about. SSO does not have two teams, one working on quests and another working on horses. The two teams they do have is two separate ones working on horses. That's why the quality of horses is so vastly different. Alright, the White Knight in this case, we're dealing with a typical degree 1 White Knight because I can see that there's not really any malicious intent, but they are still ignorant to SSO being a shitty company in general. And I find this interesting because out of all the White Knight stuff I've seen so far, this is the only one that's really talked about the meetups that they had in the past. And you don't know what I'm talking about? It's these ones. They've showed footage of them before. And I feel like it's a vast difference compared to when you see the customer support, because we all know with their customer support, they don't give a shit about us. We've seen it before. And I think this might also be another contributing factor to the White Knights. If they had this experience with the meetups, then they might have this perception constantly that SSO can do no wrong, when in fact, they can. So, Miss Girl, please do more research on this stuff when it comes to SSO as a company, and not just what you see on the outside. This is typical stuff when it comes to the meetups and everything else. It's just to look like they're a good company and all around. Which is why I take everything that they say as a grain of salt, because you don't know what their true intentions are as a company, because from what it looks like going forward, they're just very money hungry. Alright, now that we have read all of our comments of today, let's get into the relief comment of the day. Our relief comment of the day comes from Skylar and Marie Rondthe, and she says, I love Star Stable Online, but considering the state of the game, I can't imagine why star coins are so high, or the fact that you're offering these bundles so often. I've been playing since the beginning. Although I do see some progress this year, it's no excuse for the amount of bugs and players that can't even play, especially when you are paying to play. But considering how you guys see the prices are quote-unquote reasonable, I don't expect it to change. And I find this sad because when you consider how a lot of the inflation has heavily affected this game, with a lot of tack in the game and clothes being capped at 10k Eurovic shillings to push you into opting for star coins, is honestly just fucking sad. Because we don't really have much clothes in the game anymore that are newer, that actually are reasonable to buy. And I guarantee you, whenever this episode comes out, regardless if it comes out before the Rainbow Festival or afterwards, we're about to see a lot in terms of prices with the events and etc. And once again, it just seems like they are not really fully focusing on the game guard issue, they're just having it as a band-aid. And considering that this is a cheap option that they picked, do they really value the safety of the community, or are they just getting one so that way they can say they have one? Alright, ladies and gents and non-binary buds, we have come to a close to this episode of Cursed Comments. So let me know what y'all think of these comments that we have seen today, and what are your opinions and so forth. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!